Thanks for joining us on the program from the Bay Pub in Cowichan Bay, while members of the South Island Musical Theatre Society are rehearsing for My Fair Lady, coming up really soon. On today's show, visiting My Fair Lady rehearsals. And we'll introduce you to the talented Sue Newman, who has toured with rock, pop, and Motown groups. All that and much more on Go Island, Cowichan Valley.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
I've come to have lessons, I have, and to pay for them too, make no mistake.
Well,
The popular musical My Fair Lady brings forward some of the most colorful characters in theater history. The main characters are Eliza Doolittle, a Cockney flower girl who takes speech lessons from Professor Henry Higgins, a phoneticist, so that she may pass as a well-born lady. My Fair Lady achieved great heights on Broadway, was a hit London production, and a popular film version was produced with Rex Harrison and Julie Andrews. Lerner and Loewe created the musical based upon George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. The South Island Musical Theatre Society will perform My Fair Lady at the Cowichan Theatre from April 4th to 12th. Kathy Schmidt is the president of the South Vancouver Island Musical Theatre Society and choreographer for My Fair Lady.
We have our Eliza Doolittle, played by Sarah Lane, and she's just mastered the land of Cockney, as well as becoming a proper English lady. Our Henry Higgins, played by Alex Gallagher, very strong. He's just done an amazing job with this role. And then, of course, his character that plays with him is Colonel Hugh Pickering, by Bob Norris, and Bob's just been an absolute delight. And then, once again, playing the role of Alfred P. Doolittle is Ian Rothney, who also played it for us quite some time ago, and so he's very excited to be reliving his role all over again with the Musical Society.
Fabulous. Well, I can tell you like a challenge. You're choreographer for this show and also president of the society. So how strong is the South Island Musical Theatre Society?
We have had a very strong following for quite a number of years. We were formed in 1982. And we've been providing live musical theater since. We have between 50 and 60 volunteers that put our shows together for us. That's the thing about community theater, is it truly takes a community to build the theater.
Yeah.
And then we're very fortunate to be in the venue of the Cowichan Theatre, so that's nice because it's got a full orchestra pit. We're carrying a 25-piece orchestra with the show this year, so that's very exciting. The cast has met the orchestra and they were amazing. So I'm very excited for the community to see our cast and our orchestra together for opening night.
Lerner and Loewe music, it's absolutely enduring.
It's rich. That's the one thing I like about the music, and especially this show. It's got a lot of depth to it, and it's got a lot of challenges. Our cast has been pulling the harmonies apart like no tomorrow. So there's a lot of challenges within the music itself. So when I listen to my cast now, compared to 6 months ago, I'm thinking, I wish I could record them and show them what they sounded like before to what they sound like now, because the build to go from nothing to where we are today. Oh, it's just beautiful, but it's rich, and when we put the orchestra underneath it, it's unbelievable. These folks have really risen to the challenge, and I couldn't be more excited for them, and they can't wait. We go into production next week, our production week. Our build starts on Saturday, and then we continue our build on Sunday, and then we start rolling for, put the icing on the cake, putting the lights on the show, and so they're pretty excited. They got 2 more rehearsals.
Wow.
2 more rehearsals, and then we move into the Cowichan Theatre.
Well, there are so many memorable tunes, and the first one we're going to share is with Alfred P. Doolittle, with a little bit of luck.
He doesn't have a tuppence in his pocket, the poorest bloke you'll ever hope to meet. He doesn't have a tuppence in his pocket, but with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck, he'll be moving up to Easy Street. With a little bit of luck, he's moving up. With a little bit of blooming luck.
There will be 4 evening performances of My Fair Lady on April 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Cowichan Theatre. A matinee will be performed on April 6th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at the website cowichanmusicalsociety.bc.ca or call 250-746-6897. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back with more from the talented actors in My Fair Lady after the break. And after the break, this story as well. It seems on Salt Spring Island there's a hotbed for world-class musicians who like to collaborate and feed off each other. Well, now, thanks to the revival of a monthly Sunday night jazz performance, one musician is taking a trip down memory lane, and you'll meet her as well after the break.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. How wouldn't it be lovely? Lots of chocolate for me to eat, lots of coal making lots of heat, warm face, warm hands, warm feet. How wouldn't it be lovely?
The songs, there are 20 songs. So who is the master on the piano?
Well, we have two rehearsal pianists this year. We have Katarina De Beers and Stephen Shields, and Stephen was playing with us today, and they have been invaluable. They're wonderful for breaking down the music with our cast, and of course we also have our musical director, but they are just, we would be lost without them.
What about the voices, the various levels of training within the cast? Can you tell us about that?
They're everywhere. The levels are actually everywhere. You know, sometimes we've got some folks that come to us that don't read music, but have a beautiful voice. So they learn by the piano. Others, you know, trained, completely trained. And I, you know, yeah, it's all levels from nothing to everything. So that's why the journey's so fun, is to watch. We've had children learn how to read in our casts, you know, because they have to learn how to read their scripts and their scores, and you know, we have the whole level of learning going on, and so that's kind of the fun piece about the training.
Of course, we have George Bernard Shaw to thank for this incredible, enduring story. Kathy, give us some of your comments about working with this kind of material.
This show for me was a challenge. It's tradition. You know, we have to make sure that we keep everything that should be there. This is one show. We have several people that have seen the original done in England that have bought tickets to our show, and we have to stay as close to tradition as possible. And of course, the Red Hat ladies, you know, they know this show. So that was the challenge, is to keep it original but still make it ours. I could have danced all night, Eliza being changed into her night clothes. If I even thought about altering that, you know, that would be the one comment that I'd receive after the show is, why did you do that? So absolutely, it's really important that this show is well known. Everybody knows My Fair Lady, and they know the songs, and they're going to be singing in the audience like they do every year, I'm sure. And yeah, there's just some things you can't mess with.
Well, let's talk about the great support you've had from the community. You mentioned there's a long history to the society. This year you have two great sponsors.
We do. We're very fortunate this year. Shawnigan Lake School came on board as one of our sponsors for the show, as well as the Bay Pub, which is where we are today. So they've been amazing in financially helping us out, put the show together and move it onto the stage. And so they're invaluable support. We love the fact that the community will come out and be a part of us. And so yeah, we've been very lucky this year. This show originally budgeted out at just short of $87,000. However, we had to cancel our port show. So we're looking at probably closer to $80,000 to put the show together, but you know, that's not unlikely for us, and that's not unusual for us. So it is expensive task, but the community support, the generous donations that we receive, it all helps us get through every year. With us being a not-for-profit society, and so you know, we're very grateful. You know, if they don't come out and support our shows, we can't exist.
Let's lead into one of the quintessential beautiful tunes, I Could Have Danced All Night. What a great scene.
That one, if that one doesn't give people goosebumps, I'm not sure what it's going to do. But Sarah's a powerful young woman, and she's got an amazing voice. And I know that when she sings that song, the audience is going to be dead quiet and they're going to be very pleased. The maids and the way they're singing with her it's brilliant, and it's so playful and fun, and I think that they're really going to enjoy that number.
I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced.
There will be 4 evening performances of My Fair Lady on April 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Cowichan Theatre. A matinee will be performed on April 6th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets at the website cowichanmusicalsociety.bc.ca or call 250-746-6897. We'll take a little break right now, but when we come back, our political reporter Sean Leslie will sum up some of the BC legislature activity, and then we'll be back with more from members of the South Vancouver Island Musical Theatre Society.